Welcome to the Messy and Delicious podcast.
Get our honest rundown on all things healing and self-discovery, where we embrace all of the messy and delicious parts of life.
This is the place where we are shedding the shame and sharing it all.
Hey guys!
Welcome back!
So today we are going to be talking about friendship. Talking about making friends as an adult.
Yep.
How hard it is. But how amazing it is too.
How amazing it is. Like, it's awkward but amazing when it happens. And yeah, just all things friendship, the good stuff, the bad stuff, and just all the
everything
things.
in between.
Yeah.
Everything in between, because we were saying before, wasn't we? It's like, this is not something that we're taught anywhere. We're never taught how to make friends as an adult, and I think sometimes we kind of expect ourselves to just be able to make friends because as a kid it kind of is so easy. I know we all have different experiences with friendships and being children, which is not always easy, but we're sort of in environments where we make friends all the time.
Yeah, you just run up to someone and say, will you be my friend? And you're sound, and then you're best mates. As
forever,
an adult,
you
can't do that in Tesco, imagine.
Yeah, so
will
it's
you
much
be my
harder.
friend?
Please be my friend. So yeah, we're just talking about all the messy parts of friendship as well, and I think when we just linking it back to this healing journey and doing this work on yourself, how friendships change throughout that as well, and how messy that can be, because I think there's parts of it that feel really lonely, or you feel like you don't have many friends, or you don't really fit in with certain people. But then all the delicious parts that come with that as well, because it means you're getting ready to find your people and your friends and people on the same vibes as you.
The same vibes, either finding new friends or the friendships you've had for years that blossom when you're going through this journey as well, and then the ones that don't quite blossom and melt away. But we wanted to speak about this because we think it's not talked about as much, the awkwardness of it, and we just wanted to talk about our experience with friends.
Because I think one of the hardest parts when it comes to friendships is the feeling of loneliness when you don't feel like you have that friend or a group of friends. And I think so many people feel that in a way where they think it is just them, but I think everyone goes through that. And I think it's because I was listening to the Mel Robbins podcast the other day, and she was talking about friendship and how basically when we grow up we're always around people our own age that are going through exactly the same period of life as us, so we're learning about all the same things in the classroom. We probably watch the same TV shows at home. We probably have similar hobbies, so we're constantly surrounded by people that we can be friends with. And then it's you get, even then you go to uni and you meet new people there that are probably studying your course, or you live with them, and then you graduate and everyone sort of scatters. And then you're not in that space then of being around people anymore, and that happens to everyone. But I think when that happens to you and you feel lonely, you think that there's something wrong with you, and you're the only person that doesn't really have friends around you anymore. But it's not true. I think everyone goes through that.
And it's so hard. I remember when I graduated and all my mates went back to everywhere, wherever they were from, and they were the people that we were just so close, and they were people that I could tell anything, I could talk to them about anything with. And then I just felt like I'd gone back a million steps, because it took me a while to build trust with people to be able to express myself in that way. And then I felt just so alone, and I can't have this anymore. And it just felt not the same, messaging them that. It was just being around people that understood you. It was so healing. So that's so true. I've never thought about it like that before. We don't just automatically find people that are on, but find our people in a way, that are that are like us. And I think because a lot of people say, oh, go to classes and stuff, and I think that's a really like nice way of like meeting people, like people that are interested in similar things. But I think sometimes that's like in like proper intimidating, like walking into a class and then people are in there at little friendship groups already, and then you're just in the corner like in the zone and be like, just yeah, it's just like really awkward, like going up to someone and being like, oh hey, I'm new.
Wanna be friends?
Yeah, it doesn't feel so natural, but
it doesn't feel natural. But again, it's because we're not taught to do that as adults, and it's not normalised.
And I think something that we definitely don't talk about enough is the grief, like the friendship breakups. The ones that are like, that feel like a breakup and it's like, there's like a hard, like, oh, we're not friends anymore. And then also the ones where it just fizzles out and like that person's no longer in your life. But like the grief that comes with that, we're expected to just, well, it seems like we're expected to just like go on with our lives like nothing's happened. But like whoever that person is, if they've been in your life for a chunk of time, it's so hard when they're suddenly not there anymore. And it could be someone that like wasn't great for you and like was a bit toxic, or it could be a million different reasons. But when they're not there, I think the heartbreak that comes with that is so intense. And I feel like when you go through like a relationship breakup, it's more talked about, and you can like talk to your friends and be like, oh, like I'm heartbroken, I'm feeling this and that. But with friendship breakups, it just feels like it's not something that we really, well, that from my experience anyway, we don't really talk as much about like the pain that comes with not having that person in your life anymore.
Yeah, it's like it's not seen like as serious as a relationship breakup, but I think like friendships are just as important as romantic relationships, and like Absolutely. They've got the ability to hurt you just as much as romantic relationships, and but they also bring as much like love and joy into your life as romantic relationships too. And I think like it is so important to nurture them for that reason as well, because sometimes I think as we get older and we get in relationships and we find partners, it's so easy to spend less time with friends, and that's like the normal thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they have so much power and impact like on our life, our friendships. But that's why it can hurt so much when you lose friends, and it shouldn't be something that's just like overlooked or anything, because you do grieve, like that's a person that has been such a huge role in your life for a long time.
I know, and I think just like a breakup or whatever, you still think about that person. Like the amount of friends that I think of all the time, that like I'll just like a memory will come up and I'll think of them, and because we're not like connected in that way anymore, I can't message them and be like, haha, remember this time, because that's like because we've drifted apart. And like the pain that comes with that as well, or like you see something and you remember that they liked that thing, or you think about their family and you hope their family's okay. And I just think about like my past friends so much, and yeah, I don't think I've even said that out loud before. Like I really do think about people, and it's really hard to just like sit with that and be like, well, that we've drifted and that's okay, and we drifted for like a good reason. Like often there's like a really good reason, and we wasn't meant to be friends anymore, but it's still like you think about them and you know so much about them that you've spent so much time with them. Yeah, it's like so hard to deal with that. And yeah, like I don't think I've ever like said that before. It's so funny that we don't even mention it.
That's so funny, because I don't feel that way at all.
Really?
Like I don't get that. Like I feel very different about like past friendships. Not in the sense where like I don't think about them. I'll think about people like friendships that they're not close friendships anymore, and like I wish everyone well. I think everyone that I've ever been friends with, I don't have any enemies. So I've never really had any like fallings out. So people that I'm not close with anymore, it just kind of, and maybe it just depends on the way the friendship ended, or like the dynamic But I don't tend to.
That's so
I don't
funny.
Have that
Oh my
feeling.
god,
That's strange,
maybe I need
isn't
to
it?
like cut some cords or something. I feel like, just certain people, like people that were in my life for like so long, and then we just completely grew in different directions, and like it was no one's fault. We just grew away from each other. And I think as well, because I thought those friendships were for life. I think that's another thing as well. Like the friends that you make in school, for some reason I was like, they're for life, and none of my friends have been for life. And the ones that I've had from like when I've been really younger, we just all end up growing in different directions and going different ways of our lives, and like, which is such a gorgeous thing that like we've all been able to grow. But I think in my head I thought that was for life, and then now, because that was in my head, I'm like, well, it's not. It genuinely does feel like breakups to me. Like it does feel like, oh my god, like it didn't work out.
We have this pressure though when we have friends, like they have to be full on friends, big part of our life, or not friends. And like sometimes we can have people that are somewhere in the middle too.
It's just so funny. I think I just need to like let go a bit more.
I feel like society really does put on us that like your friends are supposed to have been there forever. Like it's not as normal to like lose friends and make new friends. Like I think I always thought, up until I realised this about adult friendships, and then I started making friends as an adult who are now like the most amazing friends ever. I thought that you have your friends and they're your friends for life, like what you said, and then they're the people that it's just that group. Because I never thought about how you'd make friends as an adult. Like I didn't think that was the done thing. And I think so many people do have that core friendship group. And like I'm really lucky because I have got a group from school that I'm still in touch with. But once a month, I say once a month, sometimes it's only a couple of times a year, we go out and we catch up. But then it's the friendships that I've made as an adult that are my closest friendships.
Same.
And it's because then you meet people as the person that you are now, and not as the person that you was when you were a child, and then you're just expected to go through. So I think that's probably like the reason that you feel like you grieve those friendships, because I do think we see everyone else staying with this one friendship group. But I think for a lot of people as well, that's not necessarily a healthy thing.
Exactly.
I think so many people are only friends because they have been friends forever. And for me, that's not a good enough reason for me to be friends with someone. And I don't know if that's the reason why I don't have this kind of like, I don't really think about past friendships, because I'm very much okay with like the friendships that were there for that period of time. That are not necessarily, they don't add to my life anymore, but like the new ones do.
Right.
So, and I think I know that they're not supposed to last forever. And again, I don't have any bad wishes on anyone. They just don't fit with me and my life anymore. And that's okay.
No, that's true. But this is like bringing stuff up now. I'm thinking like, what the? I think I need to go to therapy about this, because like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's mad. Like, I think I've always thought that I've been the one to like, like it's my fault, so I need to fix it or something. Whereas we just drift apart and that's okay. But I think, this is ringing lots of. It's so interesting. But no, like the friends that I've made, because it's like we were to school, like we're thrown it like with a bunch of people our own age when we're 11, and we're expected they're gonna be our like soulmates. It's like they're not. Like it's like the chances are, like, I know you like bond so much at that age, but like the people that I went through school with, although I love them and they're amazing, like we just didn't all, we just wasn't meant to stay together forever, and that's okay. But yeah, I always find it fascinating that people who went to school together and they're still like, they're in like their 50s and they still like meet up all the time. And yeah, I guess that was like what was modelled to me. And then I was like, oh, I fucked up. I wasn't strong enough to stay with my group when it would be so stupid for us to stay mates because we just wasn't meant to like stay that close. But yeah, it's funny. I think I see it as like a fault of mine.
Like
But
you've done something wrong because you haven't got friends that have been there forever.
Yeah.
But you've got amazing friends.
I know, I've got the best friends. Like, it's definitely not, it's just so weird. Like, I think it was definitely meant to, like, evolve in this way, and the friends I've got now are just, like, the best friends ever, and I'm just so glad I found them. So I needed to let them go to let these new friends in. Oh no, that's okay. Thanks for me therapy session.
We're unpacking lots forever today. This is so good though, because I think you're definitely not going to be the only person feeling that way.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. That wasn't my plan to like go into that at all.
Oh, so that's what this podcast is for, though.
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to go off on many different tangents. And it'll be what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I think like that was a good point though, like to be able to like let go of maybe friendships that aren't maybe necessarily like the right ones or that aren't adding, because in doing that we create space for the friendships that we want. And I think sometimes we can't do that. Like we can't make new friends with the type of people we want to be friends with and the friendships that we want if we are like clinging on to old friendships. And it's the same with everything. That's not just friendships. We talk about this all the time. You've got to let go in order to receive.
Yeah.
The little movement that we do all the time.
Yeah.
If your hands are like this because you're clinging on and the universe is waiting to give you something, it can't.
There's no room.
There's no room. We have to let go to receive, right? Your hands are holding on too tight to friendships that aren't serving you or adding to your life. You're not going to find your people. You can't. There's just no room for them. And like as soon as you do let go of stuff, like the right people are there waiting for you.
Yeah.
But that's work as well to like find friends. And I think so many people that will see other friendships think that just happened and it was easy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas like if you want to build friendships, it's work.
Yeah.
And you've got to do work on yourself, but you've got to like actively want to make friends with people and put yourself out there and be open to making new friends. Like it doesn't just happen in Tesco. You can't just do your shopping and make a friend in the fruit aisle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Although that would be lovely.
Yeah.
But I think there's so many ways that you can start to put yourself out there. But it's like dating, and it's like frustrates me when I hear people go, oh, I would never use dating apps, or like, oh no, I don't want to look, I just want to meet someone naturally. Where do you think you're meeting someone? How do you think that happens? Do you know what I mean? I think there's nothing wrong or embarrassing with putting yourself out there and wanting to find a partner or wanting to find someone to date. There's nothing embarrassing about that. If you're not openly putting yourself out there, again, you're not open to receive anything. So putting work into like finding a partner is absolutely fine, and that's how you're going to find a partner. And it's exactly the same with friendships too. Like you can't sit at home in your bedroom, go to work all day, come home, sit at home on your own and go, why have I got no friends?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are you doing? What are you doing to look for friends or to like be like, we attract our people, don't we? So you need to be a magnet for attracting your people.
Yeah.
You need to like be yourself, because I think sometimes this is another thing, isn't it? Like we are so concerned about maybe people liking us.
Yeah.
Or being a person, especially if you've gone through like a period of feeling lonely and maybe feeling like you've not got many friends, you can then start to morph yourself into someone who's like likable or digestible, and you don't put your weird self out there and you dim yourself down in order to make friends. And that is like the opposite of how you make friends. It's like the complete opposite.
Yeah, it's like that thing, what is it? Fitting in's the opposite of oh god, I should have thought of it before I started saying it. Belonging, yeah. Fitting in is the opposite to belonging. Like, our relationship blossomed through like us just being like completely honest about everything, just sharing all like everything. All the messy, like nasty stuff, and then just like allowing each other and not judging each other for it. Like we just like literally was like this is me, like raw as fuck. I think we were both just in a place where we didn't have the energy to put on like any persona, so we were like, here we go, this is me, take it or leave it, and we both did that, and like that's how we connected, because we were like, oh, the realness of it, like we don't have to pretend to be anything. Like the more we're ourselves, the more we attract our people. Yeah,
of course you do. Like your people can't find you if you're not being you.
Yeah, if you've got a mask on, like if you're like completely being someone else, then they're gonna look past and be like, oh, she's not for me.
Exactly, because like, you're presenting like a different version of yourself, so you're gonna attract people that will only like that version. So they're not gonna be your people, because then as soon as you can't keep playing that part anymore, you're also not gonna fit in with those people, because it's been like a false version of you from the start, and it's often like the things that you think people are going to find weird or not like about you are going to be the things that your closest friends and your people love about you.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is what we need to do. We need to just embrace being like your weird little self, because it's going to attract the right people, and it's also going to like push away and repel the wrong people, because that's what we want. We don't want to be liked by everyone. I don't want to be everyone's friend.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
I know. And I think that now it's all coming together now. Like I think this is why this being, because I was so insecure. Like you don't even like the amount of insecurity I had. It was like off the charts, and I was always putting on a mask. I was always pretending to be someone else, because I didn't like the person that I was, and I just was so uncomfortable with who I was, so I was always being someone else. And I think that was like a big block in all of my friendships as well, because everyone was a bit like, what's going on, who is she? And then when we naturally just drifted apart, then that made sense. And then it was only when I've been able to actually be myself and show up as who I am that I've been able to make those friendships that like feel really solid. But yeah, like any of the times, because it becomes, I guess, the depth of the relationship is the depth that you're willing to like show, I guess. Like if you're keeping it surface level and you're not really like sharing too much of yourself, like your messy and delicious self, then it kind of stays at a certain level. But I was like longing so hard for like a deep friendship, but I was so terrified of showing any more of myself than like just surface level, like just polite, like quiet, like people pleasery, like I'll do whatever kind of thing. And so I wasn't going to get the depth, because I wasn't allowing that to be a thing. So I think as well that's a part of it. It's like with any relationship, the more vulnerable you are, the more you're able to connect on that deeper level. And it's just so worth, like, if you're someone who has not had that in a friendship, it's terrifying, but it's so worth it when it happens. Like when you're able to have those friendships that you can just completely like just be yourself and just completely honest, and they're the best. Best.
And I think this is why like we have such an amazing friendship, don't we? Like I genuinely, I feel like I said this last time, but I just don't know. I don't know how I'd done life without you. I don't know how, like, experiencing this friendship it's just been so life-changing. Yeah. Because we can show up as we are, and it's like, I don't know, to just be seen and heard and accepted. Yeah. And know that someone's not like, fuck this. Yeah. Or like running away.
yeah, like I've literally been bawling, crying to Amy on the phone, like, oh, like she can't even understand me, and she's like, I'll be round in a minute, and she just comes round and like just like, and that was me like just a complete mess, and just felt like, oh, just completely broken, didn't know what to do. And in the past, I would never have reached out to anyone because they'd be like, oh, a bit much. But like, Amy was around, and like within 10 minutes, she was at my house, and like it was just, yeah, it's just like that kind of, to be able to have someone that you can lean on, like at a time like that, and not shy away at a time like that, because I think when you are in like so much pain and you're suffering so much, it's like we can tend to like go inside because it's like, oh, our pain's too big for anyone else, or we've got too many emotions to like show them in front of anyone else. But like having someone that is like can witness that and like hold you in that is just like the most healing thing ever. And it's not like, I hadn't had that before. So yeah, it's been so special.
Well, yeah, that is like, this is the reason that we need friendships like this, and this is the reason that we need to put work into finding friendships like this, because honestly, like I just feel so lucky to have you, and like to have this friendship, and I want everyone to experience this, because I'm like, this is what life is supposed to be like. You know, we were never supposed to do so much or go through so much on our own, and I do think we've been taught that, like, be independent, and do you know what I mean, like get through everything alone. Like, we're not supposed to do that. And of course, like, you can have family and romantic partners and everything else, but I think having like strong female friendships is life-changing. So like, if you don't have that, please put some work into having that for yourself. I think it's like one of the biggest like forms of self-love is to make sure that you've got people around you who can hold you when you need it. Because sometimes, like, as much as you want to be able to be all right on your own and hold yourself through stuff, you can't, and you're not supposed to.
No,
like,
none of us are meant to do this alone.
No, we're not.
No.
And I think I want to go back to what you said as well before about people pleasing when it comes to friendships, because I think this is something that so many people probably struggle with. And I think like one of the main reasons that, again, that our friendship is so strong is because we don't do that. Like, we know that there is no need to do that with each other. That there's so much more trust. So I always think this when it comes to like people pleasing, like, because you will say no, that means I can trust when you say that you mean yes. If we want to do something, you know what I mean? Like, if there's times I never have to overthink and go, oh, is she just saying because she doesn't want to upset me? Or is she just going along with this plan because she doesn't know how to say no to me? Do you know what I mean? Like,
it makes such a difference.
So many
like,
people
if we
have
make
friendships like that.
Like when we make plans.
When we make plans.
That's not something we've ever done together, by the way.
Maybe we should make some plans.
I don't even know what a plan is.
Is a plan like a quiche? You can't even have it.
I can't even. That's probably why I
not
don't
make plans.
When we make plans, we both know that like the morning of, if either of us, like, we both know that we can be like, oh, you know what, I am not, and we've done this so many times, and normally what happens, because we're normally in sync, one of us will go, oh, you know what, I'm not feeling doing that thing today, and then the other one will go, oh, I'm so glad you said that, actually, because I'm just about to text you saying the same thing. Like, we're just so honest with each other, and we're not afraid to do that and like rearrange stuff, and we're not just gonna go along, and we haven't really done that from day one, have we? Really? No. We've just been able to, which was so new for me, like, and I think as well because I knew that you're not people pleasing, and you're not just gonna say if you don't want to, so I could trust that, and not feel like I was like tiptoeing, being like, oh, is she gonna be okay with this? Like, because I know you'll just be like completely honest.
Yeah. And because we have that, like, it's just never a big deal. I think we learn through friendships to tiptoe around people and not let people down or not piss them off. Like, you know, I've had friendships where I think, oh God, if I cancel, they'll go mad.
Yeah.
Or they'll just treat me with like the silent treatment for ages, or it'll just be really
Yeah,
awful. So it, like, you put yourself out and make yourself uncomfortable to do something that you don't really want to do because you're scared that your friend is not going to be happy with you.
Yeah.
And I just think that's not friendship.
I know.
It's just not. Like, I would never, if we could have any plans and if you text me and you're like, oh, I really don't fancy it today because of whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to do something else or do you want to just rearrange? Like, it's
Yeah.
really not that big deal. I would rather that than spend the whole day with you being uncomfortable or tired or not wanting to be there.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes no
exactly.
sense.
It makes no sense. Like, as a friend, I don't want that for you. Like,
Exactly.
I would much rather we like reschedule or do something else than you be there uncomfortable, and then it just. And we know as well, like, we'd be able to feel like, oh, she doesn't want to be here. Like, we'd know if it was off. So it just doesn't feel natural. Like, the amount of people that, like, I know, and they go on, like, trips. Like, they go on, like, girls' trips, or they go on, like, different things. Like, I was talking to someone the other day about this, and, like, they really didn't want to go. And they were like, oh, but I don't want to say no. And I was like, but they're not going to want you to be there, like, if you're having a miserable time. But yeah, I know.
It depends on the friendship.
It depends on the friendship. But yeah, it's like, it's like finding friends who you can just be like, no, like, let's do something else with, and knowing that they're not going to, like, hold that against you. It's like,
I think it's an important sort of, like, bar.
Like
a standard.
Like a
standard for friendship. And I think this is something to look out for when building healthy friendships as well. Or letting go of ones that are a bit toxic. Like, you could be listening to this going, oh, my friend does this all the time. I need to get rid of her. Maybe you do.
Yeah.
Maybe you do. I just think these are things to look out for. So I remember when we went to the treehouse. The treehouse. Because this was like so early on in our friendship, and I love this because this is just the perfect example. Yeah. Because like we hadn't known each other long at all.
Like maybe like a couple of months or something.
Yeah, maybe. Like we'd met up like a couple of times.
Yeah.
And we'd been like meeting up and talking about doing some work together and that kind of thing. Wasn't we thinking about putting on like a workshop or something, which then turned into like 3 retreats. But yeah, we'd just been like chatting a little bit, and then we were like, oh, we should go on like a night out together and have a dance, because we've been talking about like our love for dance, and this is what we wanted to put some workshops on about, didn't we? Yeah. And we were like, yeah, let's just go on like a night out and have a dance. And it was like the night before, wasn't it? And I think I'd just got my period, or I was just about to, and I was exhausted and overwhelmed. And I texted them and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't do the night out. I was like, I need to not be around anyone for the whole weekend. Like, I just need to be away from people. Like, I can't do dance floors. I was like, I'm actually thinking of booking this Airbnb that I found, which is a tree house in the middle of nowhere. Do you want to come with me? Oh. I remember getting that message because I was at work, so I was like in between like teaching classes, and I remember seeing it and being like, I think I replied like as soon as I seen it, and I was like, yes, like that sounds way better than, because I was feeling the same about the night out. I was like, oh, I don't know, I think I was probably on my period as well or something. And then when you said that, I was like, oh yeah. And then we had the best time in that treehouse. Oh my god, it was so fun. It was so cute as well. We just drove,
and it was
like
literally in the middle of nowhere, in a field. It was in the middle of a field.
You were toasting bagels on like the barbecue.
On the barbecue. Oh my god.
But it was just so nice to be like, no, I don't have the energy for this. And you were like, no, me neither. And I was like, let's just go away and be in nature together. Yeah. And we did, and just spent like the weekend together.
Oh, it was so good.
As pretty much kind of strangers.
Yeah, we.
And We'd known each other like a couple of months.
Yeah.
But it was just lovely.
No,
Sometimes like
so
you
nice.
just put it out there. Like
Yeah.
I could have been like, oh, this girl's gonna think I'm so fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
we've met up a few times. We're planning on going on a night out, and I'm like, would you like to come to a treehouse?
Yeah.
With me?
I was like, perfect, yeah. I like this girl. Let's go.
Oh, we did, and we had the best time. It was so cute.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that's where loads of our retreat planning.
Oh yeah, that
Came
it
in,
really
didn't
came
it?
together in that weekend. We did, yeah, we worked like so much on it. It was so
Cute.
It was so good.
It was so cute.
It was. And I think another thing on that as well, which you kind of mentioned, but it's like the acceptance. It's like friends should be able to accept who you are, like as you are. I am terrible at replying to people, so everyone who knows me knows I'm terrible at replying. Like I try so hard, and I've tried for years, like the amount of years I've put like as my New Year's resolution, get better at texting people. It's not gonna happen. I've just accepted the fact that I'm terrible. Oh my god, did he just oh my god, let's rub a spiky as well. Amy's
Okay.
just like decapitated herself on the shelf.
Busted the corner of the shell. Oh, I'm fine.
Oh god. Yeah, so I'm like terrible at messaging people, and there's been so many friendships that I've got so upset with me for years, and I'm like, I've told you, like, it's not impersonal. I'm no good. Like, I get distracted, I like proper ADHD, like I go to message and it just doesn't happen, and then I come back and it doesn't happen again, and it gets overwhelming and it doesn't happen. And then with you only have to, well, yeah, one, she's exactly the same, and then also I only had to say it once, and then you were like cool, and you wasn't, yeah, I don't think you've ever seen me when I've ghosted yet, like you've never took it personally at all, because you know, whereas I think other friendships have been like, I thought it's some kind of snidey thing, and it was like a manipulative thing, and it's literally just me like still like panicking, like I'm going to do this, and yeah, I'm just rocking in the corner, and they think I'm being a bitch. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they
I'm
think
exactly the same, and I just think humans are. We're not supposed to be contactable 24/7. It's just not.
That should be illegal. I don't think it's healthy for us.
I don't have notifications on my phone. I don't have any notifications.
Yeah, you're
on
on
my phone.
Do Not Disturb.
My phone is on Do Not Disturb always. So if you have an emergency, don't call me, because you can't even get through to me. So sorry. Like, I'm so overwhelmed with emails as well. I don't know how I have yoga clients, because I don't email people back when they email me questions, and like. Emails, WhatsApp messages, like it's just all too much. I'm okay with. I'm just gonna start like crying now.
That's how I feel. It's too much.
But that does put like so much pressure on friendships, because I think so many people expect that from you, or expect you to reply within a certain amount of time, or always be contactable, and it's just not realistic. It's not real life. Like I know we don't need to like think all the time. Sometimes you might send me 4 voice notes, and I might listen to them and reply a week later. Do you know what I mean? Or I might send a paragraph and you might reply a week later, or I'll see, or I just think we'll see each other in 3 days. We'll talk then. Right now.
Yeah.
Like there's just when we're in person, we can chat about it, and it's fine. Like it's never.
And we just know, we just know it's like not malicious or like in any kind of way, and it's just so refreshing to have that, and to not be worrying all the time. And like my biggest fear used to be like looking at my phone and seeing I've left someone read for days, and then being like, oh my god, they think I'm like, I'm gonna have to explain myself, like the anxiety that came from that. But like I know with you, I can be like, I did it the other day. I wrote like half a message, sent it because it was meant to be a few messages, got completely distracted, and then I was like, oh sorry, that I was right, I was gonna actually expand on what I've just said.
I don't think I even realised that.
But
Because we'll get back in touch as and when. It's really like nobody's gonna die.
Yeah, I know,
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I think that as well shouldn't be a thing with friendship.
No, I know.
Like it really shouldn't. But again, this comes back to like this level of trust within a friendship as well. Like I never have to overthink like, I just get to enjoy our friendship.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's never, I feel like I'll hear other people talking about friends or going, oh, I think this person's being funny with me because she's not texting me back, or I text her this and she, like, I would never think that you're being funny with me, because if there's a problem, you tell me.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There's none of these, I don't have to figure out if you're okay, because if you're not okay, you'll tell me, and vice versa.
Exactly. And it saves so much energy, like the amount of energy I've got now, because I don't have to constantly in the back of my mind be like, oh my god, does this person think, I just constantly be worrying about what people think, because I know. Like, I can just be completely honest with you. And if you ask me like a million times, like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm shit. Like, I don't feel as well like I have to sugarcoat things. Like, I know when you ask me, like, are you okay? I can just be like, well, actually, and just tell you honestly. Like, I don't have to be like, oh, I don't want to say I'm not okay again, because she's going to be like, for fuck's sake, why aren't you okay? You know what I mean? I can just be like completely honest about
actually, it. No, I'm not, and just have a breakdown.
Whenever
we need. But it's just so important, and it's just what makes a great friendship. And I just hope, I don't know, I guess I hope people can take from this and like start building friendships that actually like add to your life and like nourish you in that in that way and hold you, and because it is actually like such a big part of like this whole journey, and like finding yourself and growing into who you're supposed to be and having the right friends around you. Wondered if, what about, should we talk about some tips maybe for people? If there's anyone that's like feeling a little bit alone at the minute, or not feeling like they've got close friends. Some little tips on building your little soul family and your soul tribe, and finding your soul mates.
I feel like the first step, not the first step, but like for me, like it was the more I was able to be myself around the existing people that I had around me, the more I was able to determine like, oh, are these my people, or do they accept me like the way I am? So even if it's like just being honest with yourself about things, like often like when I didn't have the confidence to like do it out loud, I'd like journal about it, or like be like really really honest about like what I thought about things to myself, so that when I was around people I could like actually share what I honestly thought and not just copying back what they said, because I was like, if I say the same then they'll accept me, and just like getting more comfortable in being yourself. I'd say that as like a first like step, if you're someone who's not already there. Like if you're like, what the hell, I've always been myself, then ignore what I've just said. But anyone who was like me and was like just putting all these chameleon, like just changing for the environment.
And I think then also it's like, I guess you want to kind of find people that have the same interests as you as well. So figure out the things that you like to do and the places that you like to be, and start going to them places, whether it's like classes or walking groups or learning something new, because you're putting yourself in an environment with people who have the same interests, so you've already got something to start talking about. Like that you need to be actively out and about and around people that will be your potential friends.
Exactly. And like with classes and learning something new, it's so nice to learn something new alongside someone else, because like when you fuck it up you can look at each other and be like, haha, like look what I've done. Like I feel like that's a really good bonding thing, and like not feeling like, oh, I can't dance so I'm not going to a dance class. Go to the dance class and like laugh with yourself and with other people about like when you fumble about. You don't have to be perfect at something to go to a class. And I think like sometimes it's best to not have a clue what the thing is. If it's like a pottery class or whatever, like just show up and see, and you don't know who's gonna be there, because someone might be doing exactly the same thing as you, like going to a pottery class to find a friend, and then you just connect. You don't know who the universe is gonna put in front of you.
No, you don't. And like I think as well, like don't put, although we're saying these things and obviously the intention is to start building friendships, but like don't put so much pressure on it.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think, I'm going to go to this group and if I don't make any friends, there's something wrong with me. Because
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
there's a lot of space for that to start happening here, which is like
Yeah,
what we also don't want. Like sometimes things just take time, but the more you're doing it, it's like the law of averages, isn't it? Like the more you do it, the more chance you've got. Like than if you're not doing it. Like friends like you are not going to just fall out of the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've got to be like putting effort into going to these places and allowing yourself to be open to connecting with people, I guess, is an important part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Putting yourself out there and just put yourself out there and try to make friends. Because I think also we think, oh, this person's going to think I'm really weird if I just like message them or if I just ask them if they want to go for a coffee. They don't. No one thinks that.
Yeah. No,
they really don't. Like this is what I used to think, and I'm like this all the time now. Like if I might like meet someone in classes or connect online with people or wherever, and I'll just be like, do you want to get a coffee on time? Like years ago. Oh, yeah, my belly.
Is that your belly? I had to crawl on
It's nearly dinner time. I'm so close to the microphone. Wow. Yeah, like in the past, I would have been like mortified and being like, oh my god, what if they say no? Or they're gonna think I'm dead weird. But I talk about this all the time as well. That when your brain needs evidence that things are actually all right, because when you do it a couple of times, people say yeah, and that like now I've made so many friends just from being like, hey, do you want to get a coffee sometime? Like that's literally how we met.
Yeah,
you messaged me and said, do you want to have a coffee? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people don't think, oh, this person's weird. We're all wanting and craving adult friendships.
Yeah.
All of us. So like putting yourself out there and just asking, and I guess that is scary. That is scary when you're not used to doing it. So I think, you know, if you're doing like self-work and stuff, like we start to work around like this fear of rejection and things like this. Like these are good little tips to like, if that is how you're feeling, to start working on that fear of rejection, because it you know won't be a nice feeling if you do get rejected, but it's also not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And the person might say yeah, and you might be best friends forever.
Yeah, exactly. And like chances are, like if someone like says no or like does blank you or think you're weird, like they're just not your person. Clearly, like you're not meant to be friends. But there's someone. It's because there's someone else around the corner that's waiting for a message, and that you should message them.
Because I think that's like something that we do sometimes, isn't it? If we do feel rejected, maybe you might put yourself out there one time and you know don't get anything back, and then you've got two options. Then you could be like, that's awful, I'm never doing that again, and then you're going to miss out on the next person that you ask who could have said yeah and being your best friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you go in your little turtle shell and you stay in there, and then no one gets to meet you anyway because you're in your shell and you're like, I can't go out again.
Stay out and just get out of that shell, get out of your comfort zone, and taking chances and putting yourself out there, because it works.
It works. Ta-da!
Now I've got a best friend, and we've got a podcast, and we live and prove that it works. Like you can't just message people.
Yeah, definitely.
And ask them if they want to be friends with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it does work. So yeah, being more yourself, putting yourself out there, messaging people, and just meeting up with people, going to classes, and then
there's some good tips to get you started.
They're great ones,
aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Have we got anything else to add into this?
I don't think so.
I feel like we've covered a lot there.
Yeah, we have. And if just one note on like your existing friendships, if you have existing friendships that you don't want to like drift away from, but you want to like deepen the friendship, like maybe just start being even more yourself, or if there's been something that's been on your mind for a while, and just like share it with a friend, or like and just be like, oh, I've been thinking about this, and then you're like, that vulnerability is allowing you to be able to connect on a deeper level, and you don't know where that friendship can go. Like it's not like a dead end. Like you can really, friendships can really blossom even if they've been like the same level for like 20 years. Like, it only takes one thing to, like, really connect and deepen the friendship. So
yeah, and you
that's
could be
another thing.
you could be the person to do that, and your friends could be just waiting for someone to like take the first step or like the leap to like deepening the friendship. Like sometimes you've got to be the one to go first with these things, and like that it could change your friendship completely. Could change your friendship one way or the other.
Exactly, which is also a good thing, because it's like, if you were meant to drift away, then that's okay as well.
Yeah. And I guess being okay with that part of it too. Because like we can either then deepen the friendship, and it will mean that you get more of the things that you need and that you want from a friendship, or it could go the other way, and then you just realise that this isn't the friendship that's going to give me these things. But that doesn't mean your friendship has to be over. We can have different types of friendships with different people. Like, and you know, you don't have to like only have friends that are on your level and that you can have all the deep stuff with. You can have other groups of friends as well. So if you're not getting that from one group of friends, then you can, this is what you know that you want to find in other friends. Or I guess if you're in a place where you're feeling like you're maybe stuck in friendships that you maybe don't want to be a part of anymore, like you could be growing and changing and evolving, especially if you're got on a bit of like a healing journey. You start really changing from your friends, and then that can feel really hard, because then you just feel like you don't fit with them anymore, or you could start to realise that they're actually really toxic. You can start seeing like a load of red flags, and you can be like, I don't want to be here anymore, and that can feel really hard to let go of. Or sometimes I think we have like a what's the word? I'm on my period, so like the brain fog is real. Like just the words that I want to use just keep disappearing. Like expectation of ourselves, like we feel obliged to be friends with someone, or if someone, I guess, is maybe going through a hard time, you don't want to cut them off. But if they're not a friend to you, like if it's a toxic friendship, it is totally okay to put yourself first and cut off that person. Like you don't have to stay friends with someone out of like guilt.
I think that's a huge one, actually. I think boundaries with friends, like we're taught so I was like, oh, you have boundaries in like romantic relationships, so my boundaries were like so like they were like rock solid. I was like, boundaries in my relationship. With my friends, they were walking all over me. They were using and abusing me in every way, and I was like, oh no, it's fine because we're friends. And I did not know you needed boundaries in friendships. So I think it's so important. And knowing that you don't have to be and do everything because it's your friend. You don't have to always be there, and you don't have to feel like a bad person if you're not there. Like a true friend wouldn't want to put you in that place. And it's difficult because obviously like people have times in their lives and they need a little more, but as long as you know that when you need a little more support, then that friend will give it back to you. It's when it's only one way that it feels like it feels toxic. It's a drain. Yeah.
And if you're finding that your friends are the people that are a drain on you and your energy, and you don't feel good when you're around certain people, maybe they're not people that you're supposed to be around. And this gets really difficult because you never want to be the person that's like, fuck them off. Fuck them off. We don't want to talk to them anymore. Because this isn't saying either that those friends are bad people. I think sometimes we get a bit stuck on like, well, if I don't want to be friends with them, it means they're a bad person. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. They just maybe don't align with you anymore, and it's okay to distance yourself from people. That's literally all it is. If they're not in alignment with you and your life, and sometimes you don't need to justify yourself. Like you can put yourself first and think, oh well, I want more actually, and it's this letting go in order to receive. You keep hold to those friends that are, I don't know, putting you down or draining you completely. Like where is the space for the new friends to come in? So yeah, and you're not a bad person for cutting people off if you need to.
Yeah, exactly. Although you're sometimes when we do like pull away from friendships, like that can trigger the other person, and then
they'll project it
onto you and make you feel like a bad person in however way they do it. But it's also not about you. Like that's not. It's about them. It's not about you. So I think. Oh, I mean, though, this could be a conversation that goes on forever. But
I
it's
think
like
we could do
a follow up on this. But yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered a lot there.
Cheers to adult friendship. Friends. We wanted to finish with a little quote, didn't we? We've got this little...
Oh, yeah. Let's do the quote.
This little heart. This is actually a present off Emma. And it's a little heart, and it says, friendship isn't about whom you have known the longest. It's about who never left your side.
Oh.
So there we go. That wraps up everything I think that we spoke about today perfectly.
Yeah. Nice and scene.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.